Okay, let's cut right to the chase. What is this massive tornado? What's up, my homies? It's Edible Incredible, and today, let's discuss a mystery from the latest trailer. So first and foremost, I tried to figure out where exactly the Cyclone is located, and if it seems to be on the move or not. Thanks to RMFH on Twitter, a fellow Zelda tuber, linked to his trailer screenshots lined up perfectly to Breath of the Wild locations down below. But it appears in this shot that it is somewhat sorta above Mount Hebra. I don't believe it has moved, as we can see it roughly in the same spot in this shot. However, interestingly, it is nowhere to be found in this shot. I'll get to the potential reasons for this towards the end of the video. Now, the first thing that came to mind is Thunderhead from Skyward Sword Sky. Thunderhead is much thicker and much higher in the sky, but the one from the trailer isn't no baby in comparison. It's tall and skinny and super lengthy at the bottom, which makes me wonder if it'll act as a traveling device to a much higher region of the sky. In Skyward Sword, the storm houses Levias. As we know, Breath of the Wild depicted 3 separate sets of Leviathan bones, one behind Death Mountain, one deep within the Gerudo Desert, and one west of Mount Hebra, which is ironically near the mysterious storm. Akin to Skyward Sword, in the Wind Waker we have to fight a boss within a storm, this being the God of Winds, who teaches Link the Ballad of Gales upon his victory. That being said, this tornado is nowhere near the ridiculous size of the other two. So, with the Leviathan bones in Hebra resting somewhere below this storm, and a massive Leviathan of the past that channeled its own cyclone, it's easy to draw the comparison, but it is hard to pinpoint the storm's precise location, as the Hebra Leviathan bones are just west of the Hebra Peak, and it appears that the storm is right above Mount Hebra. It seems to be commonly believed that the Leviathan bones directly north of Death Mountain are in fact Levias from Skyward Sword, as the flat structure on his head strikes a parallel to Levias. If this is the case, then it would potentially debunk Levias returning in Hebra. In Skyward Sword, we have to save him from the parasite on his back, Bilocyte. Afterwards, he informs us to learn the Song of the Hero. Interestingly, a similar reward to the Wind Waker version, also revolving around an instrument. Who knows whether or not we'll get to play an instrument again in Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild was the only 3D Zelda to not involve a musical instrument. Well, I suppose in Twilight Princess, Link howls and whistles through a leaf, but nonetheless, playing music has always been a staple of Zelda. Anyway, to get back to the mysterious Cyclone, it would make sense for them to hide a cool future boss from us behind a storm. But they didn't hide Gleeok from the internet, so I'm sure some of you are wondering how a rusty old decrepit Leviathan skeleton would re-emerge. Well, I believe there's a chance it's everyone's favorite concept, time travel. Some other potential evidence for this resides in the old Sheikah towers and shrines missing from the world. Oddly, no telescope at the ancient tech lab either. Although this could all just be Ganon's doing, and or the Sky Islands being lifted from Breath of the Wild surface, similar to the goddess Hylia lifting Skyloft, to ensure the remaining civilization avoided Demise's army. But in certain locations, the random decayed Guardian remains also appear to be missing. So finally back to this wide shot, and the possible reasons as to why the tornado is no longer here, which can indicate that we are heading to the past, due to all of these things that are missing from Breath of the Wild's world. The first thing I imagine is the tale from the first calamity 10,000 years ago, but it can also mean that all of that technology was re-entered into the ground. In a few different shots in the trailer, the sky is blue and the vibe is tranquil, but in other shots, the sky is gray and rainy, and in a few other, the sky is influenced by the blood moon, which reminds me of the 2 differing eras in Ocarina of Time. Or it's simply near endgame and you've already dealt with the tornado. Who knows? Another possibility for the Leviathan rebirth is Ganon possessing it for his own evil doing, which he's done many times in the past, similar to Bilocyte influencing Levias. In this shot, we see what could be a massive Moduga, but whatever it is, it looks crazy big. The Leviathan bones in this region are deep in the Gerudo Desert, not on the outskirts like this one is. Are there more connections to Skyward Sword than meets the eye? Is this an indicator of another massive beast in peril? Will we really be traveling into a distant past? Most importantly, what do you think is the plot device associated with this ginormous storm? And well, as always, until the next Tears of the Kingdom video, I hope you all stay hyped. Peace! The helicopter outside is very loud. I totally just did that in my narrative voice. That is wonderful. There's a criminal on the rise. Oh no, he is breaking into my house.
My name is Garland Dwarf.